7 Action News, always taking action for you.
But first, we begin tonight with breaking news. Tomorrow, the city of Detroit will officially emerge from the largest U.S. bankruptcy in history.
I like the sound of that. 7 Action News investigator Jim Kirchner joins us now with details on this major news. Okay, so I'm sure this isn't it. There's got to be a lot more to do.
Actually, two things that are being wrapped up, a 2-year budget and exit financing. This marks the end, technically what is called the effective date of the plan of adjustment. Tomorrow, the final documents will be signed. They do not need approval of the courts. And the emergency manager, who's been running Detroit since March of 2013, will officially resign, as he told us the other day.
I hope to be in a position to tender my resignation to the governor and the treasurer and ask them to determine whether the financial emergency is over and the receivership should conclude within days after that.
And we have just confirmed Kevin Orr will be our live guest here on 7 Action News, 7 o'clock tomorrow night after this is all done. His resignation could be accepted and effective immediately tomorrow. By the numbers, this is a recap, but these are huge. Detroit went into bankruptcy with $18 billion in debt. $7 billion of that has been eliminated. The state will oversee Detroit finances for the next 13 years. Home rule is restored. Mayor and city council back running everything. City services can improve. The losers are the creditors, including 23,000 retirees who are taking huge cuts in health care and some pension cuts.
All right, so what mechanism is in place to make sure this doesn't happen again?
That's going to be that state review commission. It's 9 members who will be overseeing Detroit finances for the next 13 years. Any expenditure over $750,000 can be vetoed by this board. They've already met twice.
Now, I know we've talked about a lot of bills and a lot of money going to the lawyers and those who have worked out this bankruptcy. Kevin Orr looks like a pretty happy man. Any idea how much he's personally putting in his pocket as he heads out the door?
His salary has been $250,000 a year. That was the contract that he had with the state when he was hired as emergency manager. He hasn't really said what he's going to do after bankruptcy and after Detroit. Probably take a little time off, but very marketable.
Yeah, because he has little kids at home and a wife at home.
He does.
Carolyn also mentioned all these expenses, the bills, and you've been personally pouring through these pages and pages of documents about the legal charges, not necessarily the legal bill itself, but those add-ons. What's happened with those and what's going to happen with them?
They've had 2 days of closed mediation last week. They're back in closed mediation again tomorrow at 9:30. According to my sources, they're still hashing those out. And the judge has actually put a mechanism in place to address them as late as January next year, knowing that the final bills are still not in. The target figure is around $177 million, a staggering amount. The mayor's in there trying to get that bill knocked down.
We know that.
Speaking of the mayor, what is he saying through all of this? Every time I see him in interviews, he doesn't seem all too happy with how everything has worked out. He's like, whoa, 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 I'm not agreeing with what they're saying on the other side.
He actually said that on Friday when Kevin Orr was touting this new 2-year budget. It starts with, I think it was a $56 million deficit. It will end with a $100 million surplus. And the mayor said not so fast. That's because of exit financing. He is taking all of this on. He's up for the challenge, and he will have to stick to that 2-year budget for now, but he will be running the show and can make adjustments as necessary.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. I know you've been eating and sleeping this thing for the last
and
year and a half, 2
great
years.
job.
Yeah, it's been a long almost 2 years, indeed.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Jim.
You bet.